some centuries ago. I was afraid even of my own reflection.
The final installment of the Celebrating Bridgerton Love series shines a light on the heart of the Bridgerton universe, the deep, unwavering friendships between Lady Danbury, Violet Bridgerton, and Queen Charlotte. These powerful women, often overlooked in love stories, offer some of the most moving moments of platonic love and sisterhood. From laughter in times of crisis to heartfelt confessions and reminders of self-worth, their bonds run deep. Whether it's Lady Danbury supporting Violet's romantic hopes, Queen Charlotte and Agatha solidifying their friendship, or Violet affirming her devotion to Agatha, these moments showcase love in its purest form, friendship that rivals even the grandest romances. Celebrating Bridgerton Love, Lady Danbury, Lady Bridgerton, and the Queen. These women make the Bridgerton universe spin, and their friendship includes some of the most special, tear-inducing moments. During a chat with Violet Bridgerton during Queen Charlotte, a Bridgerton story, Lady Danbury vents about how women like them, the elder stateswomen of the Bridgerverse, if you will, are never the topics of conversation. "We are untold stories," she says. That is certainly true of their romantic lives, but here, as we celebrate the friendships and familial love on Bridgerton, the older generation of women on the show, like Agatha Danbury, perhaps known to you only as Lady Danbury, Violet Bridgerton, and yes, even Queen Charlotte, deserve the spotlight, perhaps more than anyone else. So, we're ending our three-part Celebrating Bridgerton Love series with the women who make this whole world possible. From the ever-deepening friendship between Agatha and Violet to the complex one shared by Agatha and the Queen, these women give us some of the most moving examples of platonic love. 6 of them are below, get those tissues ready. Friends let friends laugh so they don't cry. Bridgerton Season 2, Episode 6, The Choice. When Anthony and Edwina's wedding implodes, the Queen, who refuses to look foolish after making Edwina the diamond and approving and then hosting this wedding, demands that Lady Danbury figure out some way for her to save face. Only there is no way. Violet comes upon Agatha hiding out in the palace as she attempts to come up with a solution to this mess. There's still some tension between the two women over what went down during that horrible dinner with the Sheffields, but this current situation puts that into perspective. Apologies are made, an acknowledgement of how dire this is, how for the first time in her life, Agatha has no idea how to, well, Lady Danbury her way out of this, and then they start to laugh. And they keep laughing. They laugh until they can't breathe. The situation is so preposterous. And there are peacocks running around everywhere. And sometimes if you don't laugh about it, you'll just end up crying over it, an age-old survival tactic that works much better when you're doing it with a friend. Violet and Agatha chat about gardens. Queen Charlotte, A Bridgerton Story, Episode 5, Gardens in Bloom. Here in 2025, we might be used to chatting with our friends about our, how shall we say it? Desires, but back in Regency-era England, the now-beloved pastime was less popular. That's why it was such a delight to see Violet open up to Lady Danbury this way as their bond deepened in Queen Charlotte. Of course, Violet wasn't going to just come out and say she's all hot and bothered, so instead uses a very elaborate and effective gardening metaphor. Agatha immediately picks up what her friend is putting out and not only makes sure Violet doesn't feel embarrassed about sharing that part of her but also celebrates her for it. A royal declaration of friendship. Queen Charlotte, A Bridgerton Story, Episode 5, Gardens in Bloom. Queen Charlotte and Lady Danbury's relationship has been complicated from the start, always blurring that line between subject and friend, but in this instance, when both women truly need someone in their corner, they make a point to call out the distinction. Lady Danbury apologizes for treating her only as the crown, telling her what she thinks the Queen would want to hear, rather than treating her like a person who has feelings. "You shall be my friend?" Charlotte asks her. "I will be your friend," Agatha responds. It's that simple. And then, when Charlotte confesses that she wants to run away from her life because it is not the life she wished for, her husband refuses to see her, no one trusts her or listens to her, she is lonely, Agatha gives her friend advice. She tells Charlotte that, as women, no one will simply hand them their dreams or desires. They must be brave and go after them for themselves. And that's exactly what Charlotte does. Lady D reminds Violet to know her worth. Queen Charlotte, A Bridgerton Story, Episode 6, Crown Jewels. Every person should have a friend who reminds them, you have a right to high standards, and that is exactly what Agatha says to Violet when she starts apologizing for wanting a love that is possibly as great, or at least in the realm of what she had with her late husband. Violet is allowed to want something great for herself, and Agatha makes sure she knows it. High standards are a good thing. Listen to Lady Danbury, everyone. I am here for you, Agatha, always. Bridgerton Season 3, Episode 7, Joining of Hands. Now why is this the scene that brings tears to my eyes every single time I watch it? There's just something about our Bridgerton elders so openly affirming their friendship with one another that does it for me. Here, Violet vents about needing to get in front of the Queen to talk to her about Francesca's engagement to a man who was not the Queen's pick, and Lady Danbury responds with an almost perfunctory offer to help. But the last thing Violet wants Agatha to think is that she's just there to ask for a favor. She's there to chat with a friend. I hope you know that my care for you is not contingent on your aid, she tells her. I am here for you, Agatha, always. Even when there are no unmarried children left to help. It is a profession of platonic love that rivals the romantic ones on this show, and it means a very great deal to Lady D. We heart this heart to heart. Bridgerton Season 3, Episode 8, Into the Light. After the reveal in Queen Charlotte that Lady Danbury once had an affair with Violet's father, Lord Ledger, they were in love, and that Violet figured it out but was keeping it to herself, the secret has been looming. When Violet begins to have feelings for Agatha's brother Marcus, there comes a time for the friends to lay it all out on the table. And the whiskey certainly helps. In the end, both make it clear that neither one needs permission from the other to love whom they love. It was very much weighing on Agatha, when Violet tells her that she knows her father was a good man, and that Agatha has been a very good friend, and that's all she needs to know about the whole thing. Lady Danbury has tears in her eyes. Violet's gesture offers more relief than, I think, any of us knew the typically cool, confident Lady D needed. She repays that kindness by making sure Violet knows she feels exactly the same way in regard to Marcus. But she also makes it quite clear that whatever happens between her best friend and her brother, she is forever and always Team Violet. That's our girl. And that's more than just friendship, that's sisterhood. Why isn't Edwina in A Bridgerton as Season 3? Hearst magazines and Yahoo may earn commission or revenue on some items through these links. The third season of Bridgerton is finally here, but familiar faces from the previous 2 seasons won't be in the show, including Phoebe Dynevor, Regine Page, and Charithra Chandran. Chandran, who starred as Edwina Sharma in Season 2, doesn't appear in the third season. Simone Ashley, who played her older sister Kate, returned, as did Jonathan Bailey, the other Season 2 lead. In an interview with the Indian Express in August 2022, Chandran shared that starring in Bridgerton is absolutely a burden and a blessing. I think it's about picking diverse roles that are really different from it and building out a career that doesn't rely too much on the flagship show that launched me. But I'm so grateful for it. It was such a wonderful experience and I have great things to say about it. She added, I'm not on set for Season 3. I'm doing another film. It hasn't been announced yet. It's really exciting.